Hey wife, hey, it's Wife Strut Wednesday, and this week I'm coming to y'all from the local coffee shop. Y'all know I'm always on some sort of coffee shop these days. This week it's Cafe Zeno. Y'all know I've been here before. Anyway, so as you know, last week finally opened the exclusive members only Wife Strut Day. If you haven't gone to check it out, go do so. Join the community. It's a really good place for you to be able to touch base with other wives and actually have discussion in a private sector where other people can't be lurking and reading and not responding and not truly interacting, because it's a space where we can be who we are and all its rawness that comes with it. So go check that out if you haven't. Also, if you like these videos, remember to subscribe, like, share, and all those things. So now that all that's out of the way, today, if you hear that randomness that goes by, that's because right alongside of this cute little coffee shop is the access road and the highway. So ignore that as you hear it, no big deal. Anyway, so this week I have really been trying to take some time to think about my life, always doing that, where I'm going, how things have been going, and something that I've kind of noticed about myself that's kind of been a theme of my life is like the spirit of giving. I think giving is really important, but I think sometimes when we're in the spirit of giving, we forget to give to ourselves or pull back to give ourselves more time or what have you. So I've really been kind of sitting with two concepts: mindfulness and the people in which I surround myself. So mindfulness, I've really been trying to stop and think and live in the moment and be here now, because I spend a lot of time planning for the future, what's coming up next, even with videos, even with topics. What does that look like, and making sure that I'm interacting and staying, planning ahead. And then sometimes I take a minute to think about the past, and I'm like, I wish I could have done this, or what did I learn from that? And so it's a lot of past and future assessing, reflecting, and planning, but sometimes forgetting to be just kind of in the moment and kind of being like, what is it that I need from me? What is it that I've sought from other people? Why is it that I'm seeking that from them? And what I can do with that information, I guess. And so mindfulness is tough because you have to take a minute to be real with yourself in that moment, if that makes any sense. And I'm not really good at it, but I'm working really hard at it, because you got to know yourself to lead yourself, right? You got to figure out what it is that you need to know why you're grasping at the things that you're grasping at that point in life. I remember when I was working with this nonprofit, and I had a crew of direct reports that reported to me, and every time I touched base with them, I used to ask them a few things, like, what is the soundtrack of your life right now? What book have you read or are you reading? And what movie have you seen lately? And that was just kind of something they could expect to know from me, but it was like not business. And the reason I wanted to talk with them about it, because it kind of gave insight to like where they were in that moment of life. The soundtrack of your life, the song that just gives you life, that says something in the moment. And so right now, I've actually not been doing a lot of music listening, as crazy as that sounds. I kind of drive to work or from work in silence if I'm not touching base and catching up with people, which says something else, right? If I use all the empty time that I have to make sure that I'm maintaining relationships, when am I actually getting to sit? What does that say? That says to me right now that I'm doing a lot of work in maintaining, which is super important. I try to make sure that the time that I have in commute, I can connect with the people who I'm not getting to see, and that way when I'm with people in person, I can give them that time. So that's important to me. I don't have an issue with it, but in regards to mindfulness, I think that that's just kind of like, I can see where I'm working in a lot, and that's in making sure that I'm maintaining relationships, because that's important to me. But the question is, am I giving a lot and then that's also draining me on the other end? Or I don't have an answer on that yet, but I'm sitting with it. Something that I've been challenged to do by a counselor, I told you guys that I do counseling, I strongly believe in that, is in this mindfulness, like when I have emotions or feelings, like ask myself, what is it that I need? And I think that that's such a smart question. It's a hard thing to get an answer for, though, sometimes. When I used to go to the Institute for Headaches, because I used to really struggle with migraines, she used to say every time your body is having a reaction, your neck is aching or you're getting inflammation, it's your body trying to tell you something. What is it telling you? So the same thing with mindfulness. Like if I am doing a lot of giving, what is it that I'm asking myself, or what is it that I need, and is that something that I can fulfill aside from trying to fulfill some other things for other people? It's this full cycle circle of just kind of listening to yourself. But in order to listen, you got to get quiet, and getting quiet ain't always comfortable, nor is it what's the word, it's not that it's not easy, it's just not, it requires time to take that time. I can't think of the word, but anyway. Another thing that I was thinking about is who you surround yourself with. I have always been a person that kind of struggles with letting people in my circle. I say it often, I don't have a lot of friends. The friends I have, I hold dear, and I'm not accepting applications unless you are trying to get down with the Life Strut members group, because I'm wanting to connect with other people of like-minded situations that are trying to get this wife day together, and we should do it together. But aside from that, I'm like, I got my friend circle. It takes a lot of maintenance. Friendships do not maintain themselves. And I definitely believe that. But when I think about the circle and who you surround yourself with, I read something by the lady who wrote Girl Wash Your Face. And she is having this conference called Rise. And in that, there was something posted that said, you should assess your group. And if you're the smartest person in your group, if you are the one working the hardest in your group, I mean, this is totally my paraphrase. I'm gonna try to put it in the side so you can see the real post. But you need to assess your circle of friends. And so I don't really have that issue with my circle of friends. But I think it is very important to be intentional about the people that you do and do not let in your circle. Because your immediate circle should be a foundation, right? So just like you would just let anybody in your house, because that's like your private safe space, I think that we should be very intentional about assessing who we let in our circle aside from our house. So when you think about your relationships, like, are they draining you or are they feeding you? Are you getting to feed it back? And I feel like I've always gotten into, like I said, I was talking about being a giver, right? And I enjoy that element about myself. But there is a requirement for balance. I train by day. I develop trainings to train people to improve their instruction. I've been in training for a while, so it might be customer service, it might be getting down with company culture, and then I also teach by night or online, so I'm trying to help people develop a skill, and communication is not an easy one, especially when you get into relational communication and business communication. So I do a lot of giving, and then I come home and I have a husband that I have to give, and dogs that have things, and friends that, like, especially when you're in this entrepreneurial perspective and you're trying to develop something like growing a community, right? You surround yourself with other people that are doing the same thing, so you guys are kind of bouncing ideas, and so there's a lot of giving in my life, right? And so the question is, like, if you're giving and giving and giving and giving and giving and giving, did I say giving? When are you replenishing, and how do you replenish, and are you taking time to make sure that you do that? And then are you making sure that the things that you're giving to, there is some sort of reciprocity? I don't think we always give to get, because you give to give, but I do think that there should be reciprocal relationships in your giving circle, right? So if you do these things because I give you something, are you getting anything in return? Like, at least appreciation, right? Because if we do things just because we want to, that's important. But if they're never appreciated, how much are we going to want to, even if it's for, you know, the basic nature of who you are? We all want to have a little bit of appreciation. So I'm just kind of in a phase, all of that to say that, like, mindfulness is important, and I'm working on it, and I'm not good at it. And so is assessing your circle. And being okay with, like, they say people in your life for either a reason, a season, or a lifetime. And I'm one of those people who, guys, I don't even put folks' names in my phone. Is that awful? I mean, yes, for networking and stuff. But, like, if people are like, oh, take down my number, I'll read through the text messages to know who it is. But, like, I'm really hesitant about putting names in, because for me, it's kind of very personal. So now I have your name in, aside from a networking situation of, like, a friend circle or something of that nature. And you probably don't get deleted. Like, I have names and numbers in my phone from, like, undergrad, which was well over freaking 13 years ago. How about that for my age? And I need to go through and clean some of that out, right? Because do I even use those numbers? Will I need those contacts? But it's really hard for me once I've kind of found a place to boot you out. So the lesson for myself is, like, if it was just a season and that season has passed, it's okay to boot people out. Boot them. Because they're going to move you, right? My dad used to tell me that people in your life should be like a pyramid. Everybody can't be at the top. God's at the top. Your spouse is right under that. Everybody else just falls in line where they fall in line. And that's really okay. It's just sometimes uncomfortable. So I've had a few moments this week where I'm like, I put this person in this category. I don't know where I'm at in their category, but there's some imbalance and if that's draining more than it's giving, I should do something about it. Tough talk this week, but hey, it's where I'm living. Might as well be honest about it. If you want to have more conversations about the types of people that you see showing up in your world or relationships or things that may or may not be able to impact your mindfulness in your marriage, go join the members section so that we can have a real conversation about it. Until next time, ladies, it's Wife Strut Wednesday. Let me know how you dealt with mindfulness and or assessing the people that you do and don't let in your circle. I look forward to talking to y'all always. Like every other week, keep strutting like only you can. Your strut is yours and yours alone, but we should strut together. It makes us better. Until next time, you know I'm always watching.